everybody, it's Randy with Carchaeology. Another day, another adventure. I've got my trusty truck and trailer, and I am off to Orange County, California to find some hidden treasure. So follow along and let's check it out.
Thankful for social media, because every now and then someone contacts us with a really incredible find. So in this Southern California garage is this 1953 Jaguar XK120. Now this car was parked in this garage, the family figures around 1970, and the whole world got piled on top of it. When the owner passed away, they opened up the garage. They could barely even see the car in this space. Now they've cleaned out the garage. Access to the car is available, and we were called in to drag it out of here, bring it back to the lab, and see what we can make out of it. Now this is a very special, very fun car. I love the shape of these machines. Absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, let's take a look underneath there. That's hitting kind of...
So once we aired up the tires, it actually rolled pretty easy. We had one flat tire on the passenger side, and that was causing it to drop down kind of low.
Well, if we put a block or something underneath this flat rear wheel back there, I bet it'll lift it up enough. I've got a good thick one in the truck.
Now the Jag XK120 is probably one of the coolest British sports cars ever. I mean, maybe it was topped by the E-Type after this, but it's hard to argue with that incredibly sexy body line on there. Now this particular car is a fixed head coupe, or FHC as they call it. They also made a Roadster as well. In fact, I think they made more Roadsters than they made coupes. And they were produced for actually quite a few years. I think they started in the late 40s and then ended around 1954. This one is a 1953 model that has been in this family for many, many, many years. So the patriarch of the family had parked this in the garage around 1970. They don't know the exact details of what was done to it and when, but it was obviously disassembled for restoration, and then that restoration never went anywhere. So some body and paint work was done many years ago, but it was never assembled. And that sort of thing happens quite often. I mean, it's a daunting task when all of a sudden you are steering a completely disassembled car in your driveway there or in your garage, and all these pieces, and how do they all fit? And then life gets in the way. And sometimes those projects, well, they just never happen. And that was certainly the case with this car. There's a lot of parts that came with it. It's going to be really interesting to go through all these pieces and see what's there, see what's missing. The garage was very disorganized, and before we got there, a lot of stuff left. Unfortunately, it's very possible that some of those parts that left were ones for the car. So it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be a big old puzzle to try to put together, but I'm very excited about getting it to the lab and sorting through all the parts and all the treasures and see what we end up with.
It does have kind of an interesting shape to the front. We won't go there.
You want to load those in the truck?
It has all the hardware.
Well, even just holding it there, we can squint and imagine it looking like a real car.
There you go. And then here.
Oh, wait. There we go.
Yeah, see?
Yes, yes. The Jaguar. I'm done.
It's fun. Okay.
If you close your eyes, it looks great.
Now, once back to the lab, I just couldn't help myself but want to see what was underneath all this filth and muck that's on the body. I mean, this is really caked on here, nasty, nasty stuff. Apparently, there was a possum living in the garage somewhere, and he kind of made his way in there. A lot of dirt, a lot of fallout, a lot of junk. But giving it just a little rub, a little bit of water and a terry cloth towel, I'm seeing some color there. Will this thing come back to life? I don't know. In any case, it's going to take more than a wipe down with a cloth to turn this car into a car again. But every little touch on a project like this makes it look a little bit better. Sorting through all the parts, installing a few pieces here and there always make a big difference. I ended up taking the grill, getting the hardware off of it, cleaned it up a little bit, and then put it on the car there, fitted nice and tight. And it's a little weak, those slats. I'm afraid I'm going to break them. But man, every little bit makes it look so much better. And given a really good scrub to the body here, I ended up going after this with a mega fine steel wool. I know you all are going to think I'm crazy, but I got it good and wet, gave it a good little scrub. It got immediately through all of that fallout. It's kind of like using a Comet cleanser or something like that. I'm not rubbing hard. I'm just trying to get through the muck. Now, inside the trunk and inside the car and in the boxes that were in the garage are a ton of parts for this car, as well as a ton of trash. Now, some of the parts are brand new, like these turn signal light units here. This was new in the package that must have been bought back in the 70s. Slip that little baby in place, and the jewelry really makes the beauty queen, well, look so much prettier. In any case, this is just the start of the adventure on this Jag. I've got it out of the trailer now. I'm going to be moving it into the lab, going through all of the bits and bobs and bits and pieces and parts and whatever, and inspecting it very closely to see what is missing and what needs to be done to get this car back on the road. In any case, I hope you enjoy this, follow along with us, and see where this project takes us. Thanks for watching.